What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Two Game Podcast. So today I am here to rank every single saga of Dragon Ball Z in a tier-based ranking. This is the content that Patreon voted on for October, so I'm very excited to kind of finally put these sagas in a ranking list. Now, truth be told, I am a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, even got the shirt going on, and I grew up with Dragon Ball Z. Just like a lot of people out there, this was my first anime, and I fucking fell in love with Dragon Ball Z. It is still the one anime that I have watched the most. I have went through this series numerous times. I just love all the characters, and I'm excited to just geek out on some Dragon Ball Z for a little bit with y'all. Now, full disclaimer, when I was making this tier list, there were some sagas that I'm like, okay, I mean, is that really its own saga? Because personally, I've always seen like the Majin Buu saga, the Fusion saga, and then the Kid Buu saga all as one. But apparently, according to Wikipedia, it is not. It's broken up in smaller sagas. So we're going to do it the correct way, and we're going to break them down a little bit further. But like I said, some of these I'm going to kind of group together. That's just because what I grew up on, I just kind of smushed them all together and saw them as one huge saga rather than 3 or 4 mini sagas. So looking at the tiers that I got, we have Ultra Instinct, which is going to be the cream of the crop. It is the best of the best. I'm going to reserve that tier for the perfect sagas, the ones that were so badass, the ones that I don't feel like they can really improve, the ones that to me are masterpieces / perfect. Then we have Legendary Super Saiyan. This is really fucking amazing, but it does have some of its moments where maybe it's not perfect. And then we have Super Saiyan, which is really fucking good. We have Fall Super Saiyan, which is like you're teasing me a little bit, but it's okay, not good by any means. And then we have Yamcha Fetal Position, which is just the bottom of the barrel, the worst sagas, period. Now, if you have been following along with the Two Game Podcast for any length of time, then you kind of know the sagas that are going to kind of end up in that bottom tier. But other than that, we really haven't discussed like what are some of my favorite sagas within Dragon Ball Z. So this is going to be a great episode to finally rank these sagas. So first up, we have Raditz Saga. Now, obviously, this is the first saga in Dragon Ball Z, and it doesn't have any of the Super Saiyans, nothing like that. This is your first chance, your first look at what a Saiyan is, and it's Goku versus his brother Raditz. And I thought there were some good moments in this saga. Now, let's be fair here. It doesn't have a lot of the cool moments that the series is known for later on. So to me, I feel like while this saga is definitely watchable and I do definitely enjoy it, it's still not something that I'm like, oh man, I kind of just want to watch those Raditz episodes again, It's really only a means to an end for me, where if I'm going to rewatch the entire series, it's kind of like, okay, like I'm going to watch this. I'm not going to be mad at it, but it's definitely not great by any means. So personally, I think I'm going to put the Raditz Saga right at Fall Super Saiyan. Like it's pretty good. It's got its moments, but for the most part, it just teases you a little bit more than I would have liked. And it doesn't have as many badass moments as some of these other sagas. And then next up, we have the Saiyan Saga, which brings in Vegeta, brings in Nappa, and Goku is dead, trying to get back to Earth and trying to save all of his friends. This is when the show, I'm not going to say it's starting to peak here, but this is really when the show starts kind of getting like, okay, like this is some good shit right here. Like we have some cool ass fights. Then we have Goku going Kaioken against Vegeta, and it's so fucking cool. A lot of these episodes, now granted, I'm going to be completely honest here, it really starts getting great once Goku gets back to Earth. And then it's Goku versus Nappa, Goku versus Vegeta, and then we have the giant ape, and all of those sequences are so damn good. And then we have the moments between Vegeta and Goku, and we have the Gallic Gun, the Kaioken, Kamehameha, and it is just, there are some really fucking good moments in here. And to me, I'm not going to put it at like legendary or something like that, because I do feel like, again, this saga doesn't really skyrocket for me until it hits when Goku comes back. So for me, I'm going to put it right at Super Saiyan. It's got some great moments, but it's got some bad moments as well. And then next up, we have the Namek Saga. And arguably, this is when the series, again, the series continues to just continue on this rise with each and every saga. It kind of gets better and better. And the Namek Saga is no different. We have some of the lesser known characters taking the screen time away from Goku. Goku's still on Earth, recovering, and then he comes to Namek after everybody. This is a good saga, and it's just continuing to rise in how good it is. And there are some great fights here. We get more of Vegeta, which I am never going to be upset by. Personally, I'm going to put this right at Super Saiyan. I think this is a really good saga, but it does have its dull moments for sure. And the next up, we are going to have the Ginyu Saga. And this is when Goku arrives, takes care of all the Ginyu Force. And then we have Captain Ginyu turning into a frog, the body swaps. And it is really, really good. And I think, again, you can kind of combine this with the Namek Saga. I've always saw the Namek Saga as the moment that the Saiyan Saga ends up until the moment that Frieza joins the mix and becomes a more prominent becomes a more prominent villain in Dragon Ball Z. So personally, I'm going to put it right next to the Namek Saga. And then boy, oh boy, this is where the show becomes absolutely fucking amazing. All right. And that is the Frieza Saga. The Frieza Saga is really when, like, I was in love with Dragon Ball Z beforehand, but you start getting like little teases of what they're referring to as a Super Saiyan. And it's just mentioned here and there throughout the series up to this point. Goku is being healed after his fight with Captain Ginyu, and Vegeta is taking on Frieza. Everybody else is taking on Frieza and just getting their asses whooped. And then Goku shows up in this really badass moment, just out of nowhere. And then that's when Vegeta pleads his heart to Frieza, saying, this is the guy that is going to kill you. This is the Super Saiyan. And then he kills Vegeta, and it is just so many great moments just early on before even Goku fights Frieza. And then we have the Frieza fight itself, which was badass. And what's so amazing about the Frieza saga in and of itself is the fact that you can split this up into two different sections, basically. We have the pre-Super Saiyan and then post-Super Saiyan Goku fights. So the first fight, awesome. Frieza takes a spirit bomb to the face. Really great action sequences here. And then what is probably the most iconic transformation, most iconic moment in any anime period, Goku goes Super Saiyan for the first time. I will always remember that moment for the rest of my life. It is still one of those clips that I watch on a regular basis. It is so fucking badass when Goku finally goes Super Saiyan. And then we have the post Super Saiyan fight. We get to see Goku at his best at this point, because he's fucking pissed off at Frieza, right? So he's not holding back, and just some great action sequences throughout this entire saga, but really after he becomes Super Saiyan for sure. Now, I know a lot of people, and myself included, we all kind of complain about the, Namek's gonna blow up in 5 minutes, and then it's like 30 episodes later, it finally explodes. Okay, look, I get it. It's a little crazy and a little ridiculous that they did that, but I'll stand on the hill, and I will die on the hill that it is still fucking amazing. And then let's talk about the fucking cliffhanger, okay? As a person that grew up watching this series as it was airing on Toonami, when it ended with Goku, quote unquote, dying on Namek exploding, we had to wait for what felt like fucking forever to find out if he actually lived or not. And there were rumors out there, because again, guys, this was the time before the internet was a huge thing. We couldn't just go on the internet whenever we wanted to. We had to have dial-up, and who knows what information was online was even true or not. But there were even rumors that Dragon Ball Z was going to end there, and we were not going to get any more Dragon Ball Z episodes, period. But nonetheless, the Frieza saga, guys, I gotta do it. Like, even with some of the filler that it has, and by some of the filler, I mean it has a lot of filler in it. It's fucking perfect to me. I think if you're gonna have the greatest anime moment ever, it's a masterpiece. Okay, even with the filler, masterpiece. Frieza Saga, Ultra Instinct, and then boy oh boy, Garlic Junior Saga. all right after the Frieza saga, which, again, Ultra Instinct, masterpiece, perfect. We have the fucking Garlic Jr. saga. I mentioned this earlier. If you have watched or followed along with the podcast for any length of time, then you already know how I feel about the Garlic Jr. saga. It is legitimately one of the worst anime sagas / arcs I have ever seen. I legitimately fucking loathe entirely the Garlic Jr. saga. I want to say that, at the time we were getting those rumors that, they were trying to get away from Goku and kind of focus on Gohan a little bit more. And maybe that's the issue here, where we don't really get, we kind of go back a little bit. We take a step back where we get the Super Saiyan abilities, get badass fights, and then we kind of go back and focus on some of the lesser known characters and the weaker characters, for sure. So we get that, and it is to me, I fucking can't stand it. Whenever I rewatch Dragon Ball Z, I immediately just skip this saga altogether. I just hate it that fucking much. I just don't think there's any redeeming qualities with the Garlic Jr. saga, period. Yamcha fetal position for Garlic Jr. saga. And then right after that, we get the Trunks saga, which is not a very long saga at all. I almost always kind of include this with the Android saga, but this was our first look at future Trunks. Badass fucking character. His design is fucking incredible. Love the design of Trunks. And then we get Frieza again. Now, you can make the case that, okay, we're kind of retreading the same waters. We went back a little bit with Garlic Jr. saga, and now we get Frieza again. And it's just like, okay, guys, come on. Do we need to keep telling the same stories over and over again? But you know what? I'm perfectly okay with it, because it kind of makes sense that if Frieza were to survive, he's going to Earth to find Goku and then kill all of his friends and family and then destroy Earth. Like, that would be definitely his goal. I don't know how much I believe that Frieza would survive a planet explosion, considering he was in fucking pieces when it exploded. But that's neither here nor there. It's fucking television and anime. But I love the fact that we have the Frieza saga, which is a long fucking saga, right? And Goku takes a long time to kill Frieza. And then we have this mysterious guy come here, goes Super Saiyan. Now, mind you, Vegeta has not gone Super Saiyan at all. It's only just Goku at this point. And that just chaps the fucking khakis of Vegeta, literally and figuratively. And then future Trunks just demolishes Frieza within minutes, basically. And he's just an absolute savage with his fucking sword. And just a really good saga. It's a solid saga, okay? So I'm going to put it at Super Saiyan, because at the time you didn't know where they were going to go with the series, and then they tease the Android saga and that Goku might die of a heart virus. So it's just like, okay, there are some good exposition here, some good lore dumps, and then the fact that they're now bringing in more depth to this world. And I get it, we've had some world building up to this point, but this is kind of where, I'm not going to say where it really skyrockets in terms of really fleshing out the Dragon Ball Z universe a little bit more, because I feel like that's a little bit further down the line. But I like what they do here with some of the lore, for sure, in the Trunks saga. And then next up, we have the Android saga. And to me, this is where the series no longer fucking misses, okay? Like, it is just, again, we kind of took a nosedive a little bit with the Garlic Jr. saga, and maybe not necessarily a step back with the Trunks saga, because I definitely think that was a good saga overall. But the Android saga was really where it just skyrocketed for me personally. We get some really cool fucking villains, and it kind of ties it back to the OG Dragon Ball series with Dr. Dre. But we also get Vegeta going Super Saiyan. And to me, while that is a dope moment, I don't like the fact that his Super Saiyan transformation kind of happened off screen and he just transformed it into again for the androids. I wish that would have happened on screen and we would have experienced it the first time along with him. But, little caveat here, but I do really enjoy how he did become a Super Saiyan for sure. I just wish we kind of would have experienced it along with it. But there are some dope fights here. Yamcha gets his ass kicked again, as per the fucking normal. Goku looks like he's about to just tear up some of these fucking androids and then fucking collapses with the heart virus. And Just a really great saga overall. And I'm going to put the Android Saga right there at Legendary Super Saiyan. And then now, this is kind of when Saga start kind of meshing together. I've always seen it as the Android Saga and then the Cell Saga. Now, if you look it up on Wikipedia, it kind of breaks up the Cell Saga into some mini sagas. They have the Imperfect Cell Saga, the Perfect Cell Saga, and then the Cell Games Saga. I'm combining all three of those, okay? I mean, they're all three to me, just one big Cell Saga. I don't know why they would break that up into three separate, but nonetheless, the Cell Saga is one of the fucking goats, okay? Plain and simple, one of the fucking goats. My boy Ryan Bourne out there will be happy when I fucking say this. Has one of the coolest fucking moments, one of the best moments in anime history. That is Gohan going Super Saiyan 2, okay? One of the best, not the best. The best part of the Cell Saga is the father-son Kamehameha wave to defeat Cell at the very end. That is probably number 2 all-time favorite moment for me in any anime, period. That is so fucking badass. I watch it all the time on TikTok and on YouTube. The music, plus just the actual scene, and then just the buildup of the story to that moment. To me, it was a fucking masterpiece. How they were able to weave in and out of that storyline and make Gohan finally be the one to take down one of the major villains. They kicked Goku to the curb, and to me, out of all the storylines that we have seen that have tried to push Goku aside and then bring other characters in, this is the one that did it. To me, all the others, they kind of struggle to do that because, look, a lot of kids are going to gravitate towards Goku because he's the main character, right? He does a lot of the badass things. He has all the cool abilities and the transformations. So for a character to come in, go Super Saiyan 2, and then defeat Cell by himself, or not by himself, I guess technically. Vegeta came in there at the fucking last moment, saved the day. But for us to finally get that moment was absolutely perfect. I don't know how they could have made that saga any better. Now, I firmly believe that Goku just pulled some of his punches here, and the fact that he realized that he could beat Cell, but he also realized that Gohan could beat him as well, so he just took the L on that. I will stand on that a little bit. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just how I feel about it. And the fact that he gave up and then forced his son to come in there, I mean, probably not going to win any Father of the Year awards, but still a really fucking cool moment. And how about the instant transmission Kamehameha wave to Cell's face? So fucking cool. No way this could be anywhere other than Ultra Instinct. And then next up, we have the Otherworld Saga, which to me, like, is good, but it's not great by any means. I love the tournament that they have there, and the Pikkon versus Goku fight is really fucking good. And they definitely do some different things with the tournament style episodes. So again, it's gonna be good, not great. Like when I think Dragon Ball Z, Otherworld Saga is one of the ones that I don't think about the most. So personally, I'm going to put it in False Super Saiyan. And then we have the Great Saiyaman Saga. Now, I have two different opinions about this saga. It's nice to see the Z Warriors doing things when the world is at peace. You know, it's funny seeing them go out and get their driver's license because, I mean, they really never need their fucking driver's license. So I think some of those episodes are good, not great. So personally, I'm going to put this in the Yamcha fetal position. Now, earlier I had mentioned, and I just want to go ahead and get out in front of this before someone comments below. And I said, once the Android Saga started, DBZ did not fucking miss. And I completely forgot about the Great Saiyaman Saga in the middle of all that bullshit. I'm going to put it there. I do like some of the character moments throughout, but really, this is kind of just filler material before you get to the Majin Buu stuff. And then next up, we have the World Tournament Saga, which is, it's a pretty good saga. You know, we finally get Goku back into the real world, back to Earth, and he's able to do a tournament, and he's able to fight in this tournament, and got some really cool fights going on here. To me, I'm going to put it in Super Saiyan because it teases a lot for what is going to come for the series. It's got some really cool fights in it. We also get Goku meeting Goten for the first time and just some really solid moments. We even get Goten versus Trunks in this tournament. Again, some really cool moments. Not the best, but that's where I'm gonna put it, right there at Super Saiyan. Now, this next one is the Babidi Saga. And again, I would kind of combine all of these together before I ever started doing this tier list. But I personally would have probably said Babidi Saga and then the Buu Saga for the rest of Dragon Ball Z. And that's not really the case. So for the Babidi Saga, again, and I really enjoy some of the world building that they are doing with the series at this point. And also has one of the coolest fights in all Dragon Ball Z. We have been waiting for Goku to fight Vegeta one more time. Like, give us a fight, no holds barred. Let the chips fall where they may. And we kind of get that. Goku's holding back the entire time because he doesn't ever go Super Saiyan 3 in this. But Vegeta absolutely wipes the floor with Goku and just absolutely whoops his ass in here after he becomes Majin Vegeta, which the little fucking Majin M on his forehead, super fucking cool. And it kind of brings out all of his like hidden strength and hidden power a little bit. And I love it when Vegeta kind of goes dark in this particular saga. But that fight between Goku and Vegeta automatically going to put this up into legendary Super Saiyan status because that fight was just fucking awesome. And then we had the Majin Buu saga, which has Vegeta sacrificing himself with the final atonement, trying to kill Majin Buu, is unsuccessful. And then we also have, again, one of the top 5 moments in Dragon Ball Z, period. Goku going Super Saiyan 3 for the first time. I don't know about y'all, okay? As someone that was growing up with this series, I don't think we ever thought that it would, like, we kind of thought, like, okay, it would go Super Saiyan 3, maybe, whatever. But when it fucking happened, like, we were all really surprised by it. And I just remember absolutely loving that episode. Another clip that I watch on a regular basis because it is so fucking badass. The transformation, second best transformation in all of Dragon Ball Z. Goku going Super Saiyan, and then Super Saiyan 3. Gohan going to Super Saiyan 2, pretty fucking badass. But Super Saiyan 3 Goku was a fucking incredible, very involved transformation. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to put it in the legendary Super Saiyan category again because it has some moments that are maybe not as good as all the others, but it's got some really fucking spectacular moments at that. It's on the cusp of being Ultra Instinct, but I gotta save those for the absolute goats of the series. Okay, so it's right there. It's a cunt hair from being Ultra Instinct. Honestly, if you ask me tomorrow how I feel about the Majin Buu saga, I'd probably put it in Ultra Instinct. And then next up, we have the Fusion Saga, which I'm going to put it, again, Legendary Super Saiyan, because I think there are some great moments here. We get Gotenks for sure, and then we get kind of the different transformations of Majin Buu. And I definitely don't think this saga is perfect by any means, but it's right there being a cunt hair from being Ultra Instinct. I'm going to put it as Legendary Super Saiyan because there are some really great moments. This is kind of where they're fleshing out that universe a little bit more. We get Fusion finally. We get Gotenks, and then we get Goku and Vegeta fucking fusing as well. And it is so fucking badass. And then the last big saga before the conclusion of the series, we have the Kid Buu saga. And to me, gotta put that at Ultra Instinct because to me, we didn't really get, like, I know we have villains throughout the entire series that you felt like the world was going to end. You just felt like maybe it was time that the Z Warriors' luck had finally run out. And you were on the edge of your seat for this entire saga because, like, they did a great job of laying out this character that he was pure evil. He was the most powerful being in all of the universe, so on and so forth. This is them building that up from the Babidi saga all the way up to these final episodes. And then the fact that we have Goku and Vegeta finally kind of fighting together and realizing, okay, you know what? We're going to fight him and we're going to beat him as ourselves. And we're not going to fuse together. And to me, the fact that we have all these fucking amazing moments and then Goku doing the Spirit Bomb from all the people in the universe to destroy Kid Buu, just a spectacular moment. There was not a moment in the Kid Buu saga that was bad. This is a masterpiece of a saga. And then lastly, which is not that big of a saga, I think it's only like 4 or 5 episodes, we have the Peaceful World saga. And to me, I've always kind of included this with the Kid Buu saga, but apparently it's its own thing. So this is the other tournament. We have this Buu character, Oob, and then Goku kind of taking on that character, and we get Goku changing his outfit. Like, to me, I gotta put it at Yamcha fetal position because, like, when the series ends, it fucking ends, okay? Like, we kind of stretched this out a little bit too long, and then we get these other episodes, and it's just kind of like icing on the cake, okay? But I'm not necessarily going to skip these episodes by any means. I'll watch them to the end, but I don't feel like whenever I think of Dragon Ball Z, I think about this other tournament, the world at peace, and all that. So to me, I'm going to put it at the fetal position for Yamcha. So that is my list, guys. That is my list. We have 3 perfect masterpiece sagas, with it being the Frieza saga, the Cell saga, and then the Kid Buu saga. I think those are the 3 best sagas in Dragon Ball Z, period. Now, the Yamcha fetal position tier, let me just go ahead and get this out the way before people start commenting. Garlic Jr. saga is the only one that I just truly despise. Okay, if there was another tier here where it is, I wish they would delete these episodes from existence, that would be there. The Great Saiyaman saga and then the Peaceful World saga, I can watch those. Like, I don't have a problem with them. They're kind of like filler sagas to me. They're just not why I go to Dragon Ball Z. I like those sagas and I'll watch them with any, full watch through for sure. But when I think of Dragon Ball Z, those 2 sagas just don't jump out to me by any means. And I feel like they're definitely some of the weaker aspects of the series. But guys, let me know in the comments below of what you thought about my tier ranking. What are the best sagas? What are the worst sagas? If there's any for you, let me know in the comments below where I got it right, where I got it wrong. And if you want to help us, and if you want to join the club and pick out the Patreon content for each and every month, then go to patreon.com/2game. Every month, they will vote on a specific content, and we'll try to do some different things each and every month. Now, next year, I do have plans to jump a little bit more into Dragon Ball Z with me reviewing some of the entire series for sure, and then kind of going back and watching a lot of the movies. So next year, 2025, is going to be the year of Dragon Ball Z on the 2 Game Podcast. So guys, again, I appreciate you joining me for this episode. I will catch y'all next time on another one. Laters.